Welcome to part 2 of this current series of anomalies that I've discovered at a new site in Pi. This is in a region of Mars called Noachis Terra. Let's have a look at the original material and then I'll show you the additional anomalies in part 2. Right, so the photograph here is called Hellespontus-Noachis region Intracrater deposit. MRO acquired this on the 17th of December 2007 at a resolution of 25.2 centimeters per pixel. 1x1 binning was used. I'll be showing you images cropped from this huge, almost 1.3 gigabyte JP2 black and white map projected file. And there's a look at the low-res black and white of this really odd terrain. And you've seen so many anomalies at sites where we've got these strange dunes. We've got the larger dunes and then the really thin, smaller dunes as well. The anomalies I'll be showing you are some of these white specks that litter this area. Right, so we're looking at Pi right there. The site is located at roughly 41 degrees 16 minutes south, 37 degrees 36 minutes east. Right, to start off with, let's have a look at the odd, almost obelisk shaped anomaly at the top right. You can use the scale indicator to give you an approximate idea of how large these items are. So that there's about 20, 10. So this object is about 8 to 9 meters in length. And look at the smooth, flat surfaces to it. I got a comment recently from a subscriber who says that I might be sharpening these images too much and making them smoother than what they really appear. But the software I'm using, Gigapixel AI, allows you to adjust the sharpness and the detail of the upscales. And what I've done here is I've matched the surrounding material and the sand and the smaller dunes to look as natural as possible. So this is actually very close or pretty close to what these things actually do look like. Have a look at Gigapixel AI. You can download a free version, a demo version, and play around with the upscaling capabilities and see what I'm talking about. It's rather interesting. The AI does a really good job. But you got to be careful not to overcompensate. So yeah, I try and minimize the AI as far as possible. Check out the object to the top left. This is rather odd. And you can also see a perfect example of where I try and keep the dunes and the surrounding area as natural looking as possible. So this is what this item potentially actually looks like. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what this is. Is it a boulder or a rock? Or is it some type of fossil? Maybe a plant? Who knows? Let's see how large this thing is. That's 20, 10. So we're looking at about 5 meters across. I don't know what to make of this. And it's the only object like this or similar to this that I've found in this huge photograph. So that thing is totally out of place. Right, then we're looking at the strange part on this huge boulder. I'd say this sort of half oval shaped piece is about 5 meters long. Check out this. It's got perfect symmetry and geometry to it. And here too you can see the upscaler. I've adjusted it to look such that these boulders look pretty normal, and the sand as well. So this is a very close approximation of what we're actually looking at. Check out the typical ripples and irregularities of the boulder, and then this, I'm sure you'll agree, sticks out like a sore finger. Right, let's have a look at the object over here to the top left, and it's got this strange shape to it. It's like an outline, and then following that same outline we've got this piece over here, and then it looks like it's hollow inside. I've seen so many of these anomalies that look like little containers, square containers, rectangular and then rounded. But check this out. Don't know what to make of this either. I'm just showing you the nuts and bolts as I find them, folks. Then we're looking at the anomalies over here to the bottom right. And check out this neat piece. Nice hole right there in its center. And then it's got some rather odd pieces around it as well. And again, yeah, you can see I've tried to keep the dunes and natural boulders around it as natural looking as possible. So yeah, that is very likely what we're actually seeing here. A neat hole in this piece. Right, let's have a look at that. The item over here is about 3 meters across. And again, it looks like parts that have been embedded in this, what might have been clay or mud. And you can see the natural irregularities of the material. So I haven't overcompensated this image either. So yeah, these items over here are quite smooth as well. Right, let's have a look at the item to the far left. And this is about 10 to 12 meters long. And it's got these odd pieces jutting out of the larger part. Again, it looks like things might have been embedded in this item. Rather odd to see these rectangular parts next to one another in a row. Okay, let's have a look at the item over here to the top right. And here we're looking at strange blocks. I don't know what's going on here. Could that there be an opening in this larger part? And that piece there is as large as the opening. Make of this what you will, folks. And then we're looking at the small item over here, about 3 to 4 meters across. And again, we've seen other similar examples of objects like this, where we have like an outline and then the odd shaped pieces on the inside. Rather odd. Some parts of this photograph are also a little bit grainy, as you can see. It shows up in the upscale as well. Right, then we're looking at the items over here in the middle. And we've got some geometry going on here, folks. Parallel. And then here, this seems to be like an edge with a carved out area here next to it. Parallel with it, we've got that piece lying over there. Right, let's have a look at the strange hole in this item. And that opening, I would say, is about 5 to 4 meters across. Look at the odd items lying next to one another here in a row. Similar size, and the spacing between them is also very, very intriguing. Right, let's have a look at the oddity over there. And that's about 4 meters long. And it's got the usual knob or protrusion or smaller object right there on top in its center. The strange shape of this piece as well. It seems to be pasted or part of that there, like a covering or a piece of protection on it, who knows. Right, let's have a look at the item over here to the left. It's got this strange round shape to it and a small opening there in its center. And this piece sticking off the side is also rather odd. Seems to be something inside that oval opening. Right, let's have a look at this piece. That's 2010. So that part there, I would say, is about 12 to 13 meters long. Look at the strange parts on it. It looks almost like sheet metal. It's been ripped. It's got holes in it. Check there. Side over here. Okay, let's have a look at the item to the top over there. Check this out. It's got this strange sort of like prong shape to it, and then this part protruding out into the middle. Alright, let's have a look at the items over here to the left. Again, this seems to have a hole in it with something on the inside. And here again, we've got the usual suspect, the small part protrusion in the center of this item, which is about 10 to 12 meters across. Look at the geometry and symmetry of the shape. Right, let's have a look at this item. It's about 5 meters across. It's got this neat oval shaped spherical dome-like part in its center. Also looks as if it's been sculpted. Water, wind erosion, but the odd thing is I haven't found any other anomalies like this in the photograph. So you got lots of square, sort of rectangular, triangular parts, and then right there in the middle of nowhere, we've got this rounded part. You'd expect to find more of these, like pebbles that form in a river, there's moving water. You'd expect to find more of these in this area, but to no avail, which is rather odd. Okay, let's have a look at this piece. And it's got a neat rectangular part on top, and this seems to be carved away. Also, yeah, you can see parallel lines. So rather odd combination. Right, let's have a look at the item there to the left. It's got these two small blocks next to one another, parallel, right angles to them, almost the same size, right there in the center of this boulder. Seems to be embedded slightly as well. So I don't know, are these parts or objects that got embedded in mud or clay? When this area dried out, sand took over, covered most of it, and then we get these strange anomalies where they look slightly embedded. And then we're looking at the item here to the right. Neat rectangular hole in it, parallel with the sides of the larger piece. And check this out. This line extends past this side. This too looks rather weird. Not like a typical rock or boulder, in my opinion. Right, then we're looking at the items there. Check this. Next to one another. Right there in the center of this piece. That part there looks sculpted as well. Okay, let's have a look at this long narrow part. So it's about 12 to 13 meters long. But check out this part here on the side. It's got like a wishbone shape to it. Seems to be attached to this larger part. Looks like it's encrusted as well. Right, let's have a look at the item there. Again, one of these almost like a spiral shaped anomaly. And I've shown a lot of these recently as well. The sites I've been visiting recently in Noachis Terra have a lot of these shapes. Very odd. And as far as I know, Noachis Terra means something like Noah's flood. Let me just check that quick. Right, so Noachis Terra, the name of one of the land masses of Mars, which translates as land of Noah. So, is that a hint that there was a flood in this area, folks? So, are these objects all sort of embedded in old mud and clay? Strange that they name this area the land of Noah. Who knows? Maybe it's some type of disclosure. Right, so to continue on, let's have a look at the object over there to the bottom left. And again, it's got this strange rectangular part, got a small hole in it, but it's on top of this carved away area of this larger piece, like it's been placed there, carved to be there. I don't know what the significance of that placement is. Okay, let's have a look at the item over here to the bottom. Yeah, can hardly make it out. It's about 3 meters long, and it's also got right angles to it and a neat rectangular hole on the inside. Okay, let's have a look at the items over there to the left. Nice oval shape to it, and then it's got this strange layer on top. Check out folds. It's very thin material. It looks almost like a cover. I don't know what the significance of this is either. It's not like a typical large pebble or rounded object or rock. It's got this neat part on the top. Could it be covering something? Who knows? Right, the object to the left. Again, it's got a nice rectangular hollowed out part. Something there on the inside. Look at this fold. It's almost as if this is some type of sheet metal as well. Like the way it is elevated above the surface of this larger piece. And then, yeah, what the heck is this? It looks like this hollowed out part extends through underneath this overarching part. Who knows what that is? Right, let's have a look at the rectangular block or slab on top of this piece. Nice right angles and geometry and symmetry to it. Strange little object over here with symmetry as well. Okay. There's another one of these rectangular blocks or slabs. Get the nice straight edges and right angles, and then the random rocks and boulders around it. Just show you how out of place this rectangular item is. Okay. And then we've got a really odd piece over here. Looks almost like a ram's head with these horns. Nice, smooth object here to its left as well. This too. That there looks rather odd. What could this be? Okay. And then again, the usual thing on top of a larger part. It's got like a disc shape to it, and then this piece here sort of spirals up or ramps up onto that disc. Some type of fossilized snail. I don't know, I'm just speculating. That would be, let's see, about 2 meters across, meter and a half or 2. Alright, let's have a look at the part at the top right. This meat shape to it. Right, this piece I featured in part 1. Let's have a look at the item over here to the left. That's about 8 meters across. Got a nice oval shape to it, nice symmetry, and then the smaller protrusion or knob in its center. Right, this piece, this also looks totally out of place. Sort of like a covering, but it goes down into this larger part. Check there, sort of extends out. Now we get another block or slab. It's about 5 meters across. Neat hole in it, right there in its center. And in this, that whole piece there, I would say is about 18 meters long. Look at these strange shapes on it. Hollowed away or carved away area, like a rectangular piece sticking out parallel with that edge. This too, got a nice rounded shape to it. Looks like that's hollow there. Some type of sculpted piece. Or does it have some function? Right, another rectangular part. It's about 12 meters long. And again, it looks like metal. Get the bends over here, openings, like it's been ripped or torn. Like foil. Okay, let's have a look at the piece over here to the left. And again, this part looks like it's a sort of a covering of this larger piece. Sort of mounted to it, somehow molded to it, like a shield. Right, check this out. Another disc or dish shape with this odd plectrum shaped part mounted to the side. This is also weird, that piece that comes off the side. Right, yeah, I've got a triangular part with a neat hole there on the top. This whole piece is about 15 meters long. So you get the small donut shape here. Sort of hollowed out or carved away area here. This piece sticking out and that lying on top of it. This looks almost like a fast check. Eyes, nose, not that it is a face, folks. This piece is very, very strange. It's like a slot. That little donut is about a meter across. Right, there we've got another block. A strange hole on the top. In part 2 and up, in part 3 and 4 we'll be looking at alignment. So we've got 3 smaller similar parts in a row, check. But stay tuned for that, coming up in the near future. So also looks like a sculpted piece. This round part is about 3 meters long. Right, to give you some context as to where this is located, we've got pi, a circular depression, to the sort of top right of this area called Noachis Terra, or land of Noah. These are some of the anomalies I showed you in part 1. I'll be adding part 2 to Google Earth Mars in the near future as well. Just to give you some context, some of the other anomalies in this photograph. Right there in the center of pi. There's lots of anomalies, these holes in them as well. And then highly sculpted, what appear to be highly sculpted pieces, blocks, slabs. And that concludes part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 3 and potentially part 4 coming up in the very near future. Take care, everybody. Thank you for your viewership and support. Much appreciated. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.